mic check, adjust the camera, make sure it sees me, hey, and then change its white balance and stuff, because I hate it when everything looks a little blue. Yep. Hold my hand in front of it. Undo auto. And look marginally more human. Awesome. Alright. So, where we last left off, I was writing a script, or I had successfully fixed out, and I changed the size of the user interface. It doesn't work properly at the moment. Come on. Cool. Zoom in. I made a bunch of components that accept a message that is broadcasted by the unit control script, which is supposed to be the base unit thing on our unit, which is super awesome, fantabulous. Alright, 1 second. Alright, yeah, so we were trying to get all of these things here that let this one unit do everything and break it down into a bunch of pieces, so they'll have a base unit control and then these other pieces that will add if the unit needs to be able to do something, like harvest, or if it needs to be able to train other units, to build other buildings, to move, to attack, and hopefully it will be somewhat extensible to other people when they buy the package or otherwise try to expand on what I have created. So, what we had set up is we set in the unit control this big old thing, just a couple places where the normal orders would be popped in there. Actually, is my mic working? Yep. Let me turn it up a little bit. The knob, it does nothing. Okay. Anyway, so we put in the broadcast message thing in a couple positions that it takes the order and then the name of the order. So it looks for that method, and then it gives the method that. And then all of our new things, which are nice, small, squeaky clean and shiny, they have that method there, the take order method. And they all take in the same thing, they take in a string. Mind you, because of the way I think this is set up, this is an object, so we could technically, I believe, pass in an array or something. I don't know how that would work. Though I suppose if we put in normal checks and for other things. So like if we put in an array and for some reason we wanted to harvest an area of resources or attack an area, that would be an array. Like you'd select the area on your screen, and then it would scan, get everything that's in there, and then take that list and then give it to the unit dude, and then he would attack everybody in there. So that would be not a single unit, but it would be more. And so if it's not just a string for the order, it could conceivably be any other object, which is essentially anything. So we could pass anything in there, and I guess just do a check to make sure. Actually, this is our check. If order is anything, actually I don't know. Okay, so let's try this out. Let's have it send something that isn't a string. Because right now, take order only accepts a string, but it can give out an object. So right now we'll do for the move, we'll give it a new vector 3, and that's not a string. That's not what it's made to take, so we'll see what kind of error it throws. This is how we learn. Throw a wrench into everything and see how it breaks. So we'll select them, tell them to move. Okay, so it throws a bunch of errors here. Yeah, invalid parameter. It's not, like, I don't know how to do this. Or that's what it's saying. It doesn't know what to do with this. And I don't really know the most efficient way to check that and fix it all up. But I know that the game keeps running when it throws the error, so that's enough for me. Works for the moment. We'll just try not to pass in anything crazy. And not think about overloading methods at the moment. Alright, so or order move. With a capital M, bastard. Okay, so that does that, and what do we want to do? Where do we want to go from here? So, it takes in an attack order, and it needs to do attack stuff. But first, what we're going to do is, since all of these components need to receive a message from unit control, we are going to add in the require component bit. So I'm going to copy it straight out of the documentation for 5.3. No need. Does copy paste even work? Okay. Nope, it does not. Mono develop, why do you suck so hard? Oh my god. Okay. Well, just going to type it out. So up at the top, this is right before the class. We're going to do square bracket require component. There you go. And then in here, type of. And then in there, we have a unit control. Hardy har har. And then seal it off with the parentheses, and then seal it off in square brackets. Do we need to end it with anything? Nope. So we're going to copy that and put that into all of our little sub methods here. Actually, we'll add a summary unit build. This class takes in a string or other object with the take order command that then, well, that does stuff then. Take order command. Since it is meant to make unit abilities extensible. It's meant to make unit abilities extensible. And for good enforcement requires the core unit control class. Yeah, okay. That is generic enough. Let's take it and put it everywhere so that we remember in the future what the heck we're doing. Boop, boop, boop. Harvest. Attack. Train. Building control. Building control. No, building control is the old one. Yep. Save. 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 And yeah. Should be good. Alright, now let's get it to do something. Let's see if we can't switch the move information here. Alright, so let's look at how we're doing move right now. So we got unit control and the move stuff. So I said before that the platoon commander takes information, then disseminates it to the dudes inside of it. So the way that all works, if I have a MS Paint thing here, how do I erase everything? I don't actually use MS Paint a lot. Delete. Works for me. Right. So there is you, the player. Smiley face. You give your orders to the game, which takes in your key command input and that kind of thing. And then the key command input is parsed or broken up to various degrees depending on what you want. And if you have a platoon selected, so a group of units, then it the platoon commander figures out what to do and who in that platoon can do it. So yeah, the platoon commander takes in orders in there, and then that guy gives orders to all the dudes down here. Is this a necessary layer of abstraction? No. But I believe this is how some other games work, based on how some of their stuff is drawn. Specifically in Supreme Commander, if you have a large group and you give them a order, the line that shows up, like how in mine, where I have the green lines that pop up for the orders. In Supreme Commander, these lines are bigger and thicker, and the little waypoint things, the nodes, are also bigger and thicker if you have more and more units selected. It doesn't show you one line per every single unit. It shows you one that is scaled based on the number of units that are following that same order. So I'm pretty sure that that's how it works internally, that there's an abstraction layer that keeps track of the units and tells them what to do. And also, if you right-click on something and it attacks, and it's not a unit capable of attacking, it just sits there. So I think this is kind of how it worked in that other game. I'm going to put my little arrows on here, because it's fun. And that's why we're doing all this, for fun. And then these guys, they have different components. They are broken down into basic parts. And we'll make this one have more components, because it's fun. I like drawing. I wish the drawing tablet would work with this. I suppose I could just draw with GIMP and that would be much faster. But MS Paint is tradition, isn't it? Alright. So we have the PC, platoon, commander. My god. PC. Input controller. And the player. P O A Y R. Player. Platoon commander units. And so all the units, they have, we're going to go with green. They have the unit command thing. This lets them be selected. This lets the system know, hey, I am a thing that can be selected. I am a unit. I can be managed by a platoon commander. I can be selected. I can be owned by a faction. I can be attacked. I think, should we add, yeah, I'm not thinking about that now. So they all have that. And then, since they're all mobile units, the color for that's blue, because that's how you move, is with the blue color. So, oh, I can move, I can move, I can move, I can move. And then, where the hell is my mouse? And they have the red, I can attack, 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 I can also move, I forgot to do that one. But this guy here, he can do something everybody else can't, which is going to be called purple. Now this guy can purple pretty well. He can purple so hard that the other guys just, they don't even know it hit them. And he's the only one that can purple, you know, as a verb. So, if you, the player, issue a command, you right-click on something, and the appropriate context-sensitive button is to purple. A purple command with that, like X and Y, come on, coordinate. So purple, X and Y. So they, hey, I need you to purple, I need you to purple right here. So this, you just click somewhere. So I guess it's uncolored into the input controller. Then the input controller is like, oh, that's a purple area. And he's got this platoon selected. So I'm going to tell this platoon, hey, platoon, I figured out the user wants you guys to purple. And he wants you to purple over here. So go there. Tell all your dudes that can purple to purple on. And so the platoon commander's like, hey, all right. So I'm going to go through all my dudes and see and tell them all to purple. And the way this will work is that it goes through the list, right? It's got a list of this, a platoon roster is what it's called in my implementation. It goes through and says, hey, you need to purple. Maybe this guy can purple. He's like, I can't purple, so it just sits there. It doesn't do anything. He accepts the order, But he just looks at it and says, whatever, I can't do shit about that. And then the platoon commander goes to the next one and says, hey, I need you to purple. Says, hey, I need you to purple. And hey, I need you to purple. And this guy, he doesn't return anything. He doesn't set his state in any sort of array or anything to, you know, busy as opposed to idle. He just goes off and purples. He's the only one that can take in the information. He's like, oh shit, well I can purple. I can purple so well, and I'm going to go purple right now. Wherever else just kind of sits there. Now, there are other ways to do this. One thing that I've always wanted, like in Supreme Commander and other RTSs, mind you, it's been a while since I played other RTSs, like I haven't played StarCraft in over a decade, because it's a piece of shit. I haven't played Galactic Battlegrounds, because it just came out, and you know, a bunch of other stuff. I played a bunch of RTSs, they escape me at the moment, but from what I recall, if you have some workers who can harvest, and a bunch of like soldiers or whatever selected, and you tell the workers to go harvest something, and you have everybody selected, the workers will go off and harvest something, but the soldiers will just stay where they are. Now this is not what I want. That's tactically not useful. And the way I normally get around that is with shift commands. So you hold the shift, and then you can queue up a bunch of commands, which is something I can kind of do right now in my system, but not to the point that it is ideal. I'd like it to be better. I'm going to work on it. Anyway, so the way I do it is I would hold shift, give them a move command so that they would move near the resource, and then, hey, once you get there, harvest. So what this would make everybody move to the resource, and then the order to harvest would be disseminated to everyone. And so what this would do is it would get the soldiers to go with the units to protect them while they're harvesting. Now, if I have the soldiers selected while I'm telling the platoon to harvest, I kind of want them to, you know, go with the dudes, the workers, and protect them. Anyway, otherwise I probably wouldn't have selected the workers as well. But a system that just automatically moves the whole unit together, even if they are like near the work area, I don't know how extensible that would be, because what is it? No, get out of here. Yeah, not sure how extensible that would be. Sorry, I have trouble putting it into words here. This is why I try and say it aloud, because once I can put it into words, it's easier for me to move it into code, and vice things. Right. So there are situations where I will have a. All right. So this situation is we have a platoon. We have the platoon. We want it to harvest, but we want the soldiers to go with the harvesting people to protect them while they're harvesting, so that, you know, they don't all die. But there could be other instances where we give an order, but we don't want everybody in the platoon, even though we have the whole platoon selected, to send them out. Now I have a plan to try and solve that in the future, where you can actually, so each of these units will hold on. Here, let's use gray. Each of these guys knows, what? Why didn't you change? They know what platoon they're in. And so they're all together. And if you select a couple of them and then give them a order, normally with the way the game works right now, they would just form their own platoon, and they would then accept orders as their own thing. Now what I wanted to do is to, like, if you press Control 1 to build like your hotkey group, which if you play RTSs you know what that is. You can like press 1 or 2, 1 to 0 to select someone, or to select a group that you've had selected before. You know, kind of keep track of things. And if you do that, what I want to have happen is that the platoon is like registered as a permanent platoon, or like a little bit higher than an on average normal, just kind of intermediate layer thing. So what will happen is that platoon will live forever. It'll be capable of idling. Now if you just subselect some dudes here and then tell them to do an order, what will happen is they'll form a temporary platoon, and once they complete the orders that were assigned to the temporary platoon, they will then give themselves an order to move back to their old platoon and then destroy the platoon they were a part of before. So in this way, if you're like walking along, and you have like a bunch of dudes, and then you discover like, oh hey, there's a resource node right here, or there's an item to pick pick up or something, or just one guy I need to kill. I don't want to stop everybody and have them kill him because I want these guys to get the fight. I'm going to select these two dudes over here and have them go kill him. And with this, or with the way it would work in previous things, they would be completely broken from the previous group. You wouldn't be able to add them again. They would still be part of the Control 1 group, so they would, like, after you do something with the Control 1 group, rejoin it. But I think in doing it this way, having them form a temporary group that automatically comes back to the group, I think that could be interesting. I don't know if that'll be something that everybody wants forever, but something I'm trying to go with the gameplay, long term, once I actually get to that point, is that they will, different factions will play very, very differently. Like right now, the kobolds, they all form nice ranks and stuff, but when I have another faction, they'll just form like a mob, and they won't do laying out like Napoleonic combat style movements and stuff. They'll just move as a big gaggle, but they'll have other things that they could do that the kobolds can't, and then another faction will be completely different, because I like it when factions are different. That was what was great about StarCraft. That was the good thing there. And then other games just need more faction diversity. That's the fun part about playing a bunch of different factions, all the diversity. And there was some RTS that came out, and I remember watching a review on XPlay, but everybody was like, oh wow, all the factions are super different. It's like you're playing a completely different game. And I like that. That's cool. That's like you're getting more bang for your buck. You got 3 games in 1. Plus maybe someone doesn't like playing a normal RTS, but they can still play with you, your friend, and maybe buy the game, because there are other ways to play the same game. There's other ways to help people out. Like in PlanetSide 2, the game I play all the time. They recently added a construction system. Now, it's cool, needs to expand, it's fun, but that opens up avenues for people who can't play or shooter games very well. They can still be helpful. They can go drive a truck around, harvest things, and other crap like that, and still help the war effort, even though they're not, the frontline soldiery dude. And I think in Borderlands they had the same type of thing. They had the different classes, but then I think they added one. Mind you, I haven't played Borderlands in so long, and I didn't really play it a lot when it came out. But anyway, they had some class that was like they built a turret, or like they built things and commanded things. It's like kind of the hunter or the warlock from World of Warcraft, and they didn't need to be able to like run and gun super well, because they just built these helpers that helped them, and then they could move them around. And that was really, really good. That opened up kind of the base of the people who would play the game to more people, so you could play with more friends. As that's the most annoying thing about having a game you love, is that nobody wants to play it with you, especially if you're actually for once into the multiplayer. While I love single player and think there needs to be a lot more of it these days, multiplayer is still fun. There needs to be a lot more co-op, I guess is what I'm saying. Okay, so anyway, the actual thing that I'm making. Wasted a lot of time talking there. Now, I don't even remember what I was talking about. Right, so we got the platoon commander, player, all that good stuff. And so what are we going to do now? We are going to make it so that the unit movulator moves the unit. And how are we going to do that? Well, for one, we might need to... Okay. This might break a lot of stuff, because this is really big, it's complicated, it's all interwoven, and yeah, I have no idea how a lot of it works. I made it all a long time ago, and a lot's happened. So, it's got some updates. If it's not a building, and the Boolean moving, set to move, moving will probably need to move to the move thing. Alright. Okay, so let's focus on there. So to move, we're obviously going to need to know where we're going to be moving to. So let's just put that in there right now. Now, where in the old unit control did we have that? Command settings. I'm so glad I set it up like this earlier. Movement settings. I don't know why view distance is in there, but that's also something I'll need to put in. Moving, destination, speed. And then move order sounds. So let's just copy these, and we're going to move them over to our other thing. And we're also going to do something to make it so, because previously we had an error where we were trying to set up a new unit, but we hadn't established any sounds or animations, and it completely freaked out. So we're going to put in a couple checks to make sure that it can still move around and do stuff, if it doesn't have sounds or an animation set up. Alright, so I'll copy that to unit move. A little lower, I believe. Can never remember how to do this stuff. Yeah, okay. List. Always gotta have collections generic. Using system collections.generic. Very generic indeed. Okay, so now we can use lists, and I love me a good list. Right, so then we'll add in the the header, which you do like so. Header, was it? It's a string. Right. Movement control, movement settings. Maybe we'll expand this later so that you can have different ways to move, like flight. That would be cool. Lord Singleton, soldier. Indeed, indeed. Many, many words for everything. Grunt also works, because I do love me a good orc. Or I guess a morally ambiguous orc. Alright. Private bool moving. Right, so that's private, private. Public, which is the speed. That's something they need to know about. Audio, clip, movement, sounds. Do I want this to have its own thing? Because right now, unit control has a method all the way at the bottom here, which is play a random sound from list. So I can have a little list of a sound, and it, you know, finds one to play. Do I want that to be in every one of these? That would be a little redundant. But I will figure that out later. Try to focus on things here. Come on, man. Definitely going to need the move. Where is move? Attack mission, set attack target, set faction, take damage. Yeah, it's going to stay here, and then Corbett is selected. Move. Alright. Vector 3, go here. Let's just copy this into unit move, and that was its own kind of thing. Move enum, crossfade. Right, so that's where we got the glitch earlier. So, comment that out for the moment. Don't need to debug that. Debug along direction. Float, move this frame. Yeah, I always had problems with that. Draw a line, go here, this is transform. Yeah, so that comment that, rotate unit to face movement direction. Very simple, may need to be expanded. Yeah. Alright. And then I believe with the update, the destination, will moving. So, nope. Oh god, what have I done? If moving, fix the frickin' syntax, swear to god, it's so annoying. If moving, move to the destination. Okay, so we need a way to set the destination as well, so that it can take in and do stuff and get to where it needs to go. How do... So right now it accepts a destination. Let's open up the platoon commander, because that's, I think, might have some of the information about how it goes about moving stuff. Unit move, harvest, platoon commander. Nice big class. If order equals move. Right. Now come on. That's what it does. Right, so if you give a new order, or an override, it clears the mission list, which is a list of the different orders that it has. It sets idle to false. I didn't know the platoon had an idle. Oops. And then if the order is move, it does that. So it makes a game object called the new move node. Now, okay, I think I remember what was happening here. New move node. The new move node is a command node, so that makes one of the little green glowy puck things like that. Yeah, makes that. So it needs a reference to that as well, so that it knows what to place in the world. Come on, code, come here. Instantiate your command node at that position. That might be what we use here, is the command node. New move node dot get component command node dot order. Right. Oh man, I set myself up for success so long ago. So let me open up command node, make sure I'm remembering everything correctly. Command node. Right, so all of these little pucks, little nodes, the graphic part of it, they're all the same. They just have, they change their internal data. They have a line which draws them to the other ones in the queue. They have, yeah, the previous node. They do have a counter. I don't know what that's for. Just picked up. Oh, that's so you can grab it in movement. They have a color, and they have a string, which is the order. Now this string that's the order should match the string that would be taken in by unit control and then passed down to the other components. So I move should have move and move. So we should be able from here to access that node, check to see if it has an order that matches the one we're looking for, and then get its position to move us to that, I think. But right now, the platoon commander, where is it? New order, if it's move. Come on. Okay, so it has this method, move platoon. This moves the platoon to the position, so let's see what move platoon does. Move platoon, what do you do? What do you do? Because I think what I wanted to have happen was that the platoon commander is the one that would be accessing the nodes and getting all the information from them to move them about the map and stuff. And then you'd have different nodes, so they would move somewhere, attack a building, and then once that building is dead, go somewhere else for like a simple raid or mission. Where is move platoon? Here it is. So this is the one that I think actually set, or would send the individual coordinates to the units. Because right now the platoon, it moves the platoon to a single location. But it uses that location to use these offsets and rank numbers to lay them all out in a nice big orientation. Then it also interpolates a couple of things based on where the platoon was before to give you the direction it's facing. In the future I want to have a thing where you click down and then it shows you like a ghost version of the platoon, and then you can move it around and point it in the direction you want. And I do want directionality to be somewhat important, but deal with that later. Right, so make a move from. So yeah, we cache where we are. We take where we're going to, we move one position to the other, we calculate our barycenter, which is the average position of everybody. So that's what we count currently as kind of the platoon's location, its center of mass essentially. And then these are our settings here. And then we go through some code to issue an order and then move where we're actually going to send the next guy to the left once, and then we give that order, then we move him to the, set it over to the other side, and then we move him, and we keep count, and once it gets up to 10, so a rank of 10 is made, we move it back by 1 and set it back to the center, and move it side, 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 which is why you get them to fan out into a rank, or formation. So yeah, it's taking move to. Yeah, this moves the move to, right. Otherwise it just goes to platoon, it goes to the component, and it gives the destination. So right now give destination is what we want. Now do we want give destination to stay as something that the unit control does? Because I believe the give destination is used for other things. If you can't move, then give destination is used by a building to set its waypoint where it goes, which is still kind of handled like movement. You see it's still drawing the line, which is fine. We might want a line drawn there, but we want... So yeah, I think that's what we'll do, is we'll get the we'll have destination be something that unit control still holds on to. So we're going to have our move access that or the move component access that information from the unit control thing. So we're going to keep that there. So yeah, vector 3 destination. Right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to have our own destination here, and we are going to, in unit move, when we take an order, if the order is move, we are going to go to this.gameObject.get component. Actually, let's just add this in here. Private unit control me. Private unit control me. And when it starts, it will look that up and cache it. I don't know what's better, but I get the feeling that computers these days aren't hurting for RAM. So, get component type unit control. Close that out. Fix the formatting. Fuck you. Mono develop. And unit control me equals me is this game object unit control. And then what we'll do is, was that public, private, vector 3 destination? Can I, if it's protected, can I access it? I have no idea. I normally just make everything public because it's easier and I don't have any security concerns. So me.destination. What if I make it just kind of untyped protected? Would that work? Unit move. Okay. Let's just, we'll keep that private and we'll make a getter and a setter. Can I just generate getters and setters? Whatever. Already have set destination. Just throw this at the bottom. I'll clean this all up in the future, I swear, Mom. Public get destination. and we need this is vector 3. All the way to the top. Yep. Public vector 3 destination is return destination. Boom. Shit. What did I do? Oh yeah, really breaking new ground here programming today. Me, that's me. Right, so my destination, this or whatever, destination equals me dot get destination. Okay, so the way that works now, conceivably in the future we could have get destination return something else. So we can have the unit control maybe having its own little queue of things to do. So it will be, I don't know. Well, it'll probably have its own queue. So each individual unit will probably in the future handle their own pathfinding. And so they'll have a list of points to go to that will be independent of the list of waypoints that you, the player, set as the, like, go here, go here, go here. Because, I mean, you'd want them to go through walls, but they can't. They know that, so they don't. Or they will. So that little list will be held by unit control, maybe? Or some other types of things. Anyway, so right now, since it's separate, and the unit can have its destination separate from the mover's destination, it's cached. Okay. So if we have a unit that can move and a unit that can build, when you set up the build thing to have a waypoint for things to go to, that will take destination from unit control and then save that as the waypoint. And then if you want it to move, you can tell it to move, and it'll move around, and it will take destination once you set it with the move command, or with a move order, and then move there, but that won't change the waypoint because it's separate from the overall unit destination. I hope that makes sense. Maybe it's time for more Mountain Dew. Ah, yes. The classic. Yeah, so right now it takes in destination, saves that, and then it starts moving there. Awesome. Come on. Don't want to spill. Ruin all these hundreds of dollars of equipment. Okay, so now we set our own destination after we take it from our little parent dude there. And if removing, oh, right, so if we take the order move, this destination, and then we want to set move to true. Move, is that how you spell move? Equal true. And actually you want to be explicit with it. I don't remember what it defaults to, but let's make it default to whatever we want. Move equals false. I'm going to run into a bunch of problems. Oh, actually, yeah, let's do that right now. So, else if order equals, dot equals, right, halt. Then we want to stop doing everything. Remember to close that properly. Oh my god, I hate spaces everywhere. Dying of fire, auto develop. Right, so order equals halt, then to get us to stop moving. Maybe we'll want some sort of resume thing in the future. I don't think it'll matter, because if we're told to move again, it'll override destination. So we don't need to clear the destination that we have cached. We will just set move to false. Equals false. And then otherwise, do nothing. We don't need to debug anything. We're going to clear that out in the future. Right now it stops if you're within half a unit. So I was having some errors with it teleporting around. So let's save this. Let's GIMP unit controls ability to move things, and then see if it works. Move indirect target dot transform in position. Right, we had other stuff moving. Attack mission, whatever. Take care of that in the future. Selected, move. Did that wrong. Right, let's see how many errors we caused. No, oops. Just comment everything out to get it to work. Oh God. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to leave it there. We're just going to gut it. That was silly. I don't know why I didn't think of that. A way to move. So here, asterisk, slash, go to the top, slash, asterisk. No, it didn't do anything. Yeah, come on. Oh, come on. Okay, now it's just glitches in the move script. Kick ass. I can fix those. Maybe. Okay. Did I forget? Move equals false. Moving, right, yeah. Moving. Give me the stupid space. Okay. What do we got? Get this. You cannot really get this in. Oh, right. Have to actually invoke a method. Where are you? Forget everything. Get this here. Right. Yay! Only other errors. Yes. Now it works. To a degree. This is kind of a cool glitch. So it goes to where we had clicked before, but it keeps a reference to it. Kind of weird. Right. So yeah, it went down there. Now it's going to move up here when we click over here. Kind of cool. Not what I want, but still interesting nonetheless. This is fun. My God, I've made something fun. If for but a moment. No idea what's going on there. Took order, move. All right. Okay, let's see what we're doing here. So is there other move stuff? Let's double check unit control, make sure there's no other kind of move stuff. Right, so I think, yeah, that's right, no, because move actually moved it. The move mission would set stuff for it to do. That the moving up here would do. Set destination. If building, moving through. Append destination, set destination, give destination, drop target, move. Alright, so I'm gonna make a copy of this. I'm gonna save unit control, make a backup somehow. Put it over here. Because I'm gonna make a bunch of changes now, try to gut it, cut it down, and hopefully it will move. I don't have any idea where that glitch comes from. I don't know what logic does that. It might have something to do with our caching of the position being like one behind. Where's my stuff? I don't even remember. Here it is. Unterkampf. For underfight. Yay, it's like a tail underneath it all, but not as funny. Scripts. Unit controls. Unit control. 14 kilobytes. My god, I can't believe I've written 14 kilobytes of stuff. I don't care anymore. Why did I save that? God, I'm so dumb. We're gonna namespace error thing. That is fine. Unit control. Copy. Open this up. Comment the entire thing out. I saw somebody else do this. Oh my god, you can like do multiple line stuff. Cool. Did it really? There you go. Should quell the error. Okay, so now we're going to see what happens when we select it for the first time, give it an order. Yeah. So, it's selected. I believe it makes a platoon once we select it now. I don't remember. I think I implemented that like a week ago. But when we give it an order, okay, so it moved to a position. Oh, let's check. Did it move to 0, 0, 0? Because vector 3, yeah, it did. It moved to 0, 0, 0. And passed it a little bit. Now it's going to continue moving to everywhere else. Move super fast. What was its speed? The old one. Move. Speed. 0.1. Okay, so yeah. I believe that's meters per second. So 1 meter per second, which is about 11 miles per hour. I believe. Yeah, that's 11 miles per hour with no acceleration to take into consideration. All right. Oh, another cool thing I just realized is that if we, okay, you know what? Sorry I don't check the comments that often. I mean, there's only 2 people watching, but Lord Singleton asked, Probably off topic here, but why don't we see any RTS style games with an option to go into FPS? I always wanted to be able to play Age of Empires as a strategy and then swap to FPS for certain fights. So, I don't, off the top of my head, recall a game that lets you switch between the two. I remember there was Command & Conquer Renegade, which put you on the ground of the fight. That was kind of cool. Kind of a combined arms game, like where there are vehicles and other stuff for you to use, which, I mean, I suppose most RTSs are technically combined arms games. But I recall a few, and they were actually in the kind of Age of Empires style. I think there was something like old Greek battles, and you could just kind of get down on the ground and fight people in the first or third person, something like that. But you were like super overpowered when you were doing it, which is cool. You could really kind of like get down there and turn the tides of battle, which is kind of would be awesome. I know Warcraft 3 with the hero thing, that kind of was the same, but it wasn't really as much as a personal skill-based type of combat as getting down there and being in a first-person shooter. Because people think first-person shooters are very, very personal skill-based for the success of fights, which is true to a degree. It would be really, really cool, and I do actually, since this is a Unity asset that I'm making, you would be able to do that. You could set it up, you could have hitboxes for the guys, and actually, since this actually kind of works into what I was just about to talk about, since I'm making everything with all these little components as opposed to this really, really big one right here, if you could add one of these components. So your attack component, you can build your own one that, instead of like mine, where it's very traditional RTS, where it just kind of walks up and then attacks and then stands there waiting and then attacks, you could have it, you could add in some other things that made it so it did an attack animation, or it like tried to block, or they actually engaged in combat down on the lower level of like fighting. And then you could set up one that would accept direct player controls as opposed to all the layers of abstraction that I've explained earlier. But yeah, no, that's definitely something that you can do with this type of thing. It would be super easy if you actually wanted it in like a first-person shooter type of thing, since you could just set up a collider and then have your gun use the search for and then use the exact same take damage method that would be set up in there. Let me do a quick check for you. Little tangent, little break. Let's see, RTS, where you control a hero. Is there an RTS where you can also be a soldier? Okay, Mountain Blade Warband, yes. Someone suggested that. Technically, yes, I would call that a real-time strategy game, just because it starts as you fighting a bunch of guys, but you recruit an entire band. Well, okay, a war band. That's the name of the game. Very big. Rise and Fall, Civilizations at War. That might be the one that I'm recalling. Oh, look at that. Yeah. Let me put this over here. Blatantly violate some copyright. So yeah, this is Rise and Fall, Civilizations at War. It looks a bit dated, but also looks super, classic. Workers, builders, etc., etc. But yeah, controlling a dude, just getting down into the thick of it. You're with your guys. Now, what I think could be cool, and this is a dream of mine ever since I was young, so back when Battlefront came out, another Star Wars game was popular, well, not popular, but existed at the time, Galactic Battlegrounds, which is an RTS based on like Age of Empires. It actually, I think, was essentially a mod for the game, but it was licensed, so it was a new game. And I was like, oh man, I wish this was like Battlefront, where I could just get down to the front and fight dudes off. And so I've always wanted a game that combined the two, and like internally, me and my friends, you call this the Uber game, because it combines just a bunch of different types of things. And this is why I like PlanetSide 2 so much, because it is so big, it is so strategic, and you're just a dude on the front line, which I like and have fun with. But a game I think would be interesting is if you and your friends, instead of playing individual players, or individual towns, I guess, on an RTS map, you would go through and, like, one of you would be like the mayor of the town, or like the main commander, and all of your other friends would be playing, I guess, like a contemporary MOBA, I guess is the word for it, where all your friends are like your main heroes, your sergeants, your lieutenants, and such, and if they can actually, on the ground, lead your dudes into the battle, while you're at the back building, like, the town, and keeping it up to date, which I think would be kind of cool. So, let me close that. So yeah, Rise and Fall, Civilizations at War, looks like one that did it, kind of how you were talking about. So, let's get back on topic. What was I doing? I don't remember. Making things move, right. I just backed that up. Now I'm going to start cutting things out of unit control. So, what does move do at the moment? Right. Takes in vector 3 destination. It gets its own destination. Oh, it moves to the destination once you've set, or if it's moving. And it's moving. Been told to move, and once it gets there, it sets moving to false. So we need to take that logic out of unit control. So it doesn't need to know if it's moving anymore. Instead, we'll change it to some sort of idle thing. Destination still needs to be there. Speed is no longer associated with this. Move order sounds no longer associated with the main thing. If you give an order to have it move, I guess that'll be like the confirmation that the component is working. It'll play the sound, which might cause an error if more than one component accepts the same thing. Whatever. Alright, so move is there. Let's save that and let all of the errors just roll in. Moving. Right, so cut that out. If it's a building, it will idle. Or if it's not a building, it'll play an idle animation, which isn't ideally how you want to have that. Do we have anything else? Play the idle. Where are you? We added in some sort of like idle thing, didn't we? Let's add it. Alright, I'll add a comment. Idle is set to true when an order is finished. Private. Bool ID LE. Yeah. And we want it to start as something. Idle. Idle. Just friggin' chuck it in here. So if idle is true, idle and it's true, and we have an animation for an idle. Well, I didn't know anything. set to true if the animator was set up. Private bool animated defaults to false. Put that animated equals false. And I'll put this in another little if loop, if get component and children. Does get component and children only get component and children, or does it also return stuff from here? So if equals true. So if it's there, set this all up. Otherwise, nothing. Get component children, animation, blah 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 blah. Animated, true. If idle and not building, and animated. So it's good, right? Not moving. Moving is no longer here. If okay. So what did we do here with the moving thing? If interact target is null, so we don't have any target to harvest or attack, and we're not moving. Right, and so it searches for the closest enemy. We're all right. If interacting and idle. And yeah, idle. True. All right. Set destination. Moving. No longer your purview, good sir. Move. Right. Because stuff still looks for move. This is private, right? Yeah. Okay. It's selected, nothing relating to movement or moving. Set attack target. So attacking is true. So I'll just idle. Fantabulous. Halt actions, right. Broadcast message. Halt. Fantastic. God damn it, I hate you, MonoDevo. Moving. No longer exists. Idle. Idle equals true. Right? Man, I don't know. Okay. So we should do that after attacking. I don't know why, but I feel like it'll cause a problem if we don't. Find the closest enemy. Right. Probably gonna rename that to find closest target. Actually, no. Alright, so I'm not gonna do this today, but what we're gonna do later is we're gonna make a find closest target thing. And attack will have its own find closest target. Harvest will have its own find closest target. And you'll be able to add in some code. So there'll be a couple settings you can tweak. So, like, does it automatically find an attack or something to attack? Does it automatically, if it's idling, find something to, harvest? Other idle commands, if it's finished a command, is it in like a mode to search for more targets? Which will, I guess, in the future lead into stances, hold your ground. Did you move to attack a target and then return to your position or previous position? all kinds of stuff. There. So yeah, you'll be able to search for different types of targets, that type of thing. Which I suppose we'll have something in unit control that gets this. So we only have to do the collider thing once, and then we check it for the different types of targets we can interact with. So we'll, like, to think of all different types of units or different things we can do, we'll collect everything in our visual area one time. We'll check, oh, is there anything I can attack within my aggro range? Is there anything I can harvest within my harvest range? Is there any allies I can heal in my healing range? Is there any purples I can purple in my purple range? You know, what, that kind of thing. So we only have to do the collision or the collider thing once, and then the individual components will check everything in the field of view. In the future, I actually want to make it so that the field of view is only is calculated per platoon. There's another platoon kind of optimization that I think might be able to work. There's got to be some way to make it set up so that you build a single big collider that is kind of, it'll be shaped irregularly, but it'll go faster than having like 60 individual circles check to see if there's stuff within range. You'll have one collider that's kind of shaped for the platoon, and then if it finds stuff in here, the platoon commander will be like, hey, you guys go harvest that, you guys go attack that, that kind of stuff. Maybe. I don't know. Play it by ear. Tons of fun. Yeah, so find close to enemy. Nothing really right now. Let's save that and check to see how many glitches we have. Oh, we're still playing. Right, that's a different glitch. That just kind of happens from time to time. Alright. Platoon. Yep, still goes to null. Oh, are we giving it a vector? Where are we giving it a vector 3-0? How are we passing it? A 0. Should just be a null, right? So move. Moving gets a vector 3. Go here. Vector 3, destination. Get component, destination. Update. If moving. Moving is false. So yeah, we're not moving in the beginning. Moving, update. Take order. Go destination. Oh. Moving. So we do get our destination first. And then we set moving to true. So we should get something. We'll pull it from main unit control, which has a destination, does it? So this destination here. Show me, can I like highlight this thing? What if I just comment it out? Or, I suppose. If I make an error, that'll highlight a lot of shit. Destination. Okay. X, Y. Building control. Right. Some crap for building crap. Set destination. Vector 3, new destination. Anything else? Okay, so the error must come from higher. Why didn't this happen before, though? Platoon commander. Destination. Give destination, move to. Transform dot position. Give destination. Take or remove. Set destination. New destination. Yeah, okay, so it's taking in. This out comes in here. It gets passed around to set destination, which finagles around some of the coordinates because I was confused so long ago. And if it's building, it doesn't set the destination, it just sets the waypoint, which isn't the problem right now. So this goes back up to platoon commander, which it calls give destination, which is the move to. Now move to, we're making a new game object. And game objects have coordinates, which defaults to 0 if they just made. Move to transform.position is set to destination. So move platoon gets its shit set to destination. Alright, so where is move platoon called? Probably up here on the orders. New move node, blah blah blah. New move node. New move node, get component, mission list add. Add order. Oh, new order, right. New order actually tells them what to do. If order equals attack, if order equals, no, move. Player order affirmative. What? Oh. Mission list. Mission list transform dot position. Oh, I don't know. Where are you? Select platoon, new roster, add order. Let's move platoon. Where'd you go? Move platoon. Oh. Move platoon. Next one. So that's if you clear mission lists or move platoon position. Position. Definitely gonna edit this crap out when I put this on YouTube or something. Move platoon, mission list 0, transform dot position. So mission list dot 0. Debug.log, and then just take that variable. And see what's going on. Yeah, do I know? All right. Because I commented out destination up here to find it because I didn't. So John, naive. There it is. So it's going to go to 0. ever do that? Okay. Twin Commander. Let's check that out. Okay. Okay, so if we double click somewhere for it to move, it doesn't, it clears both of those nodes, so it doesn't have a place to go. Oh no, it does still move. It was just too close to see. Not what I want. What is happening? Okay. Probably has something to do with the caching. Okay, so we're going to update destination every frame. See how that works. Where's the code? Is destination, get destination. Let us see how this changes things. Okay. So if we update it frequently, it goes to the right place. Let's zoom out a little bit here. Look at him zipping across the place. Can I still move these? Oh shit. Damn it! It's so fast. Alright, so I think I can do another fix for a thing that I might delete later, but it'll be cool, so I'm gonna do that. No, screw that. Let's finish up this stream right here. So we do have the subcomponents moving and the unit control moving bits taken out of it. Now I'll need to do some renaming of stuff. And then of course move the other logic out of things, but I think we have it kind of figured out how it'll work. We have the main unit control, and all this will get pulled out. The attack stuff will be moved over into the attack component. Movement's been pulled out. Harvest will be made its own thing as well. And command settings, selection object. Yeah, all this will kind of stay here. So this will still, unit control will still be pretty big. But it'll be modular a little bit. And I didn't get to do something here. I do just want to kind of keep this to an hour and a half. I'll probably come back later tonight and do this, but I probably won't be streaming that. But I will show it in here for just a moment. So attack will have, alright, let's add in using system.collections.generic, so we can use our best friend, the list. Alright, so we have a public list. Let's see. Int, let's go with something multi-dimensional. Int 3, public list of integers. Let's call it attacks. And so the idea is we've got that list, and the cool thing about lists is that when you make them in the what's it called, editor there. Let's see, does that work? Did I save it? Oh, no, I broke it. Shit. Int class. No. Let's fix that. Oh, right, rock. Duh. Int. Oop. Shit. Maybe this will work. Thank God. Public. Int. Wait, did I add the right thing? Oh, come on. Okay, well, the idea was that you would have a bunch of attacks here that would work. Where is it? Master control. It would work like this. You would tell it, hey, I want this guy to have 5 different attacks. You get 5 things here, pop it open. What's the attack called? Oh, it's called this. What's the what's the minimum damage? What's the maximum damage? Does, you know, do any other stuff? Does he attack automatically? What's the range? Is there a particle effect associated with it? Etc., etc. And then, inside of the code here, where is it? We would have some methods that would determine which attack to use. So, like void select best attack. And we go through and just like or just yeah. So we go through our list of attacks for attacks for whatever. I'll just type it out in English. For each attack in attacks. Check to see if it expected damage versus target resist. This is and range. I'm a great programmer. Semicolon. Right. So it'd go through each of the attacks and then it would cache or something like, oh hey, this one does this, what are the enemy's resistances? Probably take that information in and be like, oh okay, so it's a skeleton. Skeletons need bludgeoning damage. I don't have a bludgeoning attack, but I have a bludgeoning attack. It does less damage than my sword, but my sword won't do any damage. So I'm going to hit it with the bludgeoning attack or something like that. I don't know. Hey, it's immune to fire, so I'm just not going to attack it because that's a waste of my time. Or I don't do a lot of damage with that. So this, that, and the other thing. And you put it all in here. It would select the best attack, and then we use it. But also, like I said, take into account range. So if it's not within range, and it can use that attack, which would be part of the little checkboxy stuff I showed, it would use that attack if it's within range, and it can use it while it's moving, and if it's moving, that type of stuff. So it would select the best attack, and this would also work for other things too. Like if you had a special abilities of some sort, and it like healed. It would check to see, oh, am I within range of healing? Is this person close to death? I'll auto heal the one closer to death more. That type of thing. Little logic like that to determine which ability is better to use. Mind you, that's normally the kind of stuff that people do like with micro for like StarCraft or other stuff, but that's dumb. So I'm not going to do that. You can add it back in if you want. So let me get this, clear this out of here so I don't break it, so it's not broken when I come back to it later. Attack, took order, attack, harvest, move. Now moves. Right, we needed to add in something that would let us know we're not close enough to do anything with our current target. But that is something I'll do on my own time. Been streaming for about 3 hours. If you have any questions, you can reach me anywhere on the internet. I'm Kale the Quick. Thanks for watching, and don't die.